Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP chats. What do I? Only Chris Helms. Yeah, he has to play this freaky song. Anyways, we know that it's not directly 9 o'clock. We're trying out this new program because Chris hates doing Wednesday night OWCP chats alone. So we're
I don't
just going
hate it. I mean, I have an audience, but it's better when I have, some entertainment on my dry show.
on his dry show. So let's see. It's not coming up on Facebook.
What the hell?
Oh, here it is. I got it.
Oh, okay. User error.
Okay, so Chris can't see his is my head in there?
Yeah, you're fine. 100. Not anymore. You were good before.
I'm good now.
No, your chin's gone.
My chin is gone.
Go back where you were when you started.
Hold on. Let me see. I don't want my chin gone.
Stay right there.
All right, we're getting a bunch of people saying hello. Nancy, Maureen, hello, Kim, Jackie, Lisa, Mike. So yeah, we're trying out this new program to see if it's going to work when Chris is in. Good evening, Tom. Laura, hello. I'm on Facebook. Chris, Mike said, "Watch your language."
I might.
So yeah, so we're trying out this new program. So if worse comes to worse, everyone, we will end it and then we'll go on our, Chris will just hop on his phone. But
it'll be
first of all,
out of your life.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not in the camera. Am I?
Move to your right about, 3 inches. Go ahead. Oh man, that's so perfect. Look at that.
Nice. Lenise, Heather, Regina, Lisa, Kim, hello everyone. Again, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP chats. We are actually trying this new program out. So we'll be able to do this because unfortunately Facebook business page, like we have our Wednesday night OWCP chats, doesn't allow us to invite a friend, and I don't know why.
So all of you have seen me do this by myself, and those game shows where you need a lifeline. I definitely need a lifeline, and Gini's that, so it's better that she's on.
I'm his lifeline. And so, we try to make this really entertaining and educational as well. As you can see, we have a banner at the bottom. If those of you that are asking us for our phone number, it's on the bottom. So we put that up there today. Chris is always thinking of something. We have a lot of awesome news to tell everyone, as well as do Q&A. So we'd like you guys to go ahead. Yes, you are, but sometimes Chris fades in and out. I know, Chris, you got to stay still.
Yeah. Well, Chris, sometimes I fade in and out. That's just how it goes.
Well, Chris is going through a little storm in Texas, maybe another tornado. The Wizard of Oz is happening in Texas today. So
we're at the south portion of Tornado Alley, and we get storms. It's happening. So just bear with me.
So what we'd like everybody to do, you guys read my post a few weeks back that I want every federal employee nationwide to like our page and follow us. So we could have more and more. I think we're at like 1,400 followers, which is really awesome. Tammy, hello, Tammy. It's Tammy, Chris.
What's up,
Hi, Sue. Hi, Mike. So yeah, go ahead and share this page and like it, and have your friends, tag your friends at the bottom, give us some hearts, and let us know that you're here. Let us know where you're watching us from. And first off, I'd like to start off with one of the big things we're going to be doing this weekend. Chris is flying in. Everybody that's with the NALC, I know within your city and state, you guys do something for the muscular dystrophy. So what we normally do, we team up with our local NALC, which is also our state president lives in the area. at Branch 2008. We're going to be out there on Sunday with Al. Yeah, on Sunday, May 5th. So we're going to do Cinco de Mayo there, and then after. We'd like everybody that's in the NALC in Branch 2008 and Tampa, wherever, come on out, donate. We are going to be donating 3 different kinds of beer, and we're going to have some Jello shots. I'm going to probably ride around in the cart and collect more money. And we're going to be giving away 3 $100 gift cards. We're not going to say which ones they are. We're just going to wait for you guys to show up. So
they're not going to suck.
What'd you say?
They're not going to suck. Those are going to be good gift cards.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. California, North Carolina, Pennsylvania. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Yeah, so we're really looking forward to the MDA. This is our 3rd year doing it. Year 1, we raised $10,000. Year 2, last year we raised $8,000, and we're hoping to exceed that this year. So everybody in Branch 2008 and the surrounding areas, I know there's going to be a couple people from other cities coming in. We can't wait to meet you guys. Don't forget to stop at our little station. We don't know where we're going to be sitting yet, but we'll be there with all the drinks, as you golf.
8 or 9, like right in the middle. The second half of your golf course, you're screwed.
I'm making the best Jello shots, so make sure you guys come out. We got Chicago, Kentucky, Georgia, Ohio, Texas, South Carolina, West Virginia. Hello, everyone. So today we're doing Q&A. You ask and we answer. Yeah. Go ahead, start getting your questions, anything OWCP related. And we want you guys to understand that stuff that happens within the post office, we really can't control, and we kind of don't know the answers as far as your job descriptions and stuff like that. We really don't know, and we can't give you an accurate answer. We don't want to give you an answer that's not true or a lie. So we just we'll stick to the OWCP questions. And at the end, we have a couple big announcements that we'd like everyone to know what's going on. And as Chris is talking about all the other stuff and answering questions, I'll interrupt if I need to. And we have, let's see.
She'll even interrupt if you don't need to, I guarantee it.
Fairhope, Alabama, Spring Hill, Florida. And at the end, I'll also tell you all of our locations and where we're going to be in the month of May and some more exciting stuff. So take it away, Chris.
Yeah, so before I get started, and bring your questions. So far, there's no questions. There's a lot of check-ins, and that's good. But before the questions come in, I want to tell everybody that as a company, Federal Injury Centers has made a couple of interesting changes that are going to benefit federal employees. To this point, there's been just a couple of us that are, I would say, OWCP experts outside of the doctors. And in the last week, we hired 2 people that are case managers for Federal Injury Centers. Their purpose is to get all timely filed legitimate claims accepted. So those of you that know me know our motto is no more denied claims. And so what we're trying to say is, look, if it's timely filed 3 years and it's a legit claim, you didn't do it on the weekend when you weren't at work, then let's get those accepted. So in the South, we've got Jennifer, who is a 10-year veteran in DOL. I've known her for a very long time. We're lucky to have her. There's no questions she doesn't know the answers to. And she knows what a really good narrative report looks like. So she's going to be working on these, to get these claims accepted. And in the North, we actually hired someone who's a former claims examiner. And so her name is Cammie, and I hope she'll forgive me for all the times I call claims examiners 4th graders, because she's not one. And she actually understands the ins and outs of what they're doing. And, what are the, I don't want to say secrets, but, secrets to what claims examiners are looking for. So we hired her. She's also got a background at the VA. Don't hold that against her, VA employees. She acknowledges that she might need a little reprogramming, wink. And so we'll definitely handle that. But seriously, we've hired a couple of people whose hearts are in the right place, that are all about getting timely filed legitimate claims accepted. So we're super excited about having these new people with us because it's a big country. There's 2.8 million federal employees, and Tom and I need some help. And so we did that, and we're looking forward to getting even more claims accepted. In the last 3 years, the doctors we're associated with got over 1,000 claims accepted. In the next 3 years, I want it to be multiples of that. And so that's what we're working on. So tell your friends, tell your coworkers, if you want your claim accepted, Federal Injury Centers is where you go. You can go other places. There's other doctors. I don't recommend any of them, but I recommend ours. So we're doing what we can, our part, to help you get your claims accepted, and we're super excited about it. So with that said, what questions do we have?
Well, we have Javon said, "Hey, Chris and Gini, I called John in Boston on Monday. I have an appointment to see the doctor there on site, so things are looking good for me. Thank you for being there and helping so many postal workers." You're so welcome, Javon.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And do us a favor, and in fact, do your coworkers a favor. We'd like you and everybody else watching this to take a minute to share this video and to just at least tell. A lot of people would undershoot this and say, tell somebody. Tell 3 people that you know to watch this right now.
Yeah.
Really, like the number of viewers to triple right now. If you care about your coworkers and if any of them are your friends, they should be watching this. So tell people to watch it and make them do it. This is really important. There's not a week that goes by that we don't do this in some form or fashion. That somebody comes to us crying, saying, gosh, I wish I would have known this already. Nobody ever told me this stuff. And so it's your responsibility to tell the people you know to watch this. Here's what we get out of it. We get to help people. And you get to participate in helping people by telling people. So take a second right now and share it with 3 people. Just do that now. And we're going to keep talking. But we want to maximize the number of people that see this. There are 2.8 million federal employees. So everybody's got their work cut out. Get started. Share, 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 share. Get the sharing done. Okay. Tell a friend.
Okay, so let's start with our questions. They're coming in here. You guys be patient so I can go through them. So because Chris is not seeing them. All right, so Jackie says, I was told my CA2 was an accident write-up and going in my file, ? How do I take that?
Jackie, take that straight to your union and fight back. What they're saying, if it goes in your file, is that it was willful misconduct or intent to injure yourself or something else. This is typically bogus. So take it to your union and fight back. File a grievance. Do whatever it takes. But for sure, fill out your CA1 form or CA2, whatever it is. I'm not sure. It sounds like a 1. And get copies of the whole thing. But don't let them push you around. That's really important. So if they push you, push back. Go to your union, who is probably very powerful, and file a grievance.
Jackie, hopefully we answered your question. Tom says, a member I represent filed a CA2 for CTS, waiting 3 weeks for approval to get surgery. Surgeon states he knows how to deal with OWCP.
That doesn't sound like a question, but my answer is awesome, because most surgeons don't. So if your surgeon knows how to handle OWCP, definitely stick with that doctor. But make sure that the doctor that understands OWCP knows how to write good narrative reports, because it doesn't matter that you can prove that you have carpal tunnel syndrome. And it doesn't matter that you can prove that you're a federal employee. What matters is that you can prove that as a result of your federal employment, you develop carpal tunnel syndrome. And your doctor is the only person who can write that narrative report explaining it. If the doctor can't do that, the claim will never get accepted and it'll be paid for out of your pocket. So be sure that's covered.
Kim Davis. Hey, Kim, how are you?
What's up, Kim?
So Kim was kind of one of our first ones, and we're really excited for her because she got her case accepted about, 2 weeks ago? So we're really excited for Kim. Kim says, how can we get our case on eComp? I have an account, but it says I can't submit a CA7. Also says I have no case.
All right, so call your claims examiner, Kim, and ask your claims examiner why it says you have no case. For eComp, if you have a 9-digit case number and you know your date of birth and you know your date of injury and you know your name, then you can get on eComp. My gut feeling is you know all that stuff, Kim. I know one of those things right now because I know your name is Kim. So you probably know the rest. And so call your claims examiner and ask why eComp is not working for you, because I'm not an injured employee and I can eComp anything I want anytime for anybody if I have that information. And so if you're having a problem with it, feel free and give us a call. And I'll walk you through eComp to get you to be able to upload your CA7s. But with that said, your CA7 has to go to your supervisor to fill out page 2. And the supervisor then has 5 days to turn that in to the claims examiner, 5 work days. And so be sure that's happening regardless of the eComp. And I'm really proud of you for trying to eComp it, but make sure your supervisor has it and send it in. And be sure you've got the supporting documentation so you get paid.
All right. Oh, you're welcome, Kim. Let's see, next question. Oh, wait, hold on, Kim. Okay, Lenise Harris, I just found out that you could be reimbursed for travel to doctor's visits. Can you submit now? And does that include physical therapy?
It does. It does. Listen, you're allowed travel reimbursement up to 100 miles round trip. And so if you're having to go more than 100 miles, you should get that pre-authorized through your case manager or claims examiner. Claims examiner. Call them up, tell them what the deal is, and ask them to pre-authorize it. If it's 100 miles or less round trip, then you fill out an OWCP 957, which is a travel reimbursement form. Attach the like a Google map printout of where you left from to go there, and turn that in. Each OWCP 957 has a place for 3 days of travel. So after you exceed, once you hit 3 days, get another form and just turn them in like that.
Yeah, Kim Marie says, you've helped so many people that I've sent your way. You're so welcome, Kim.
Well, we appreciate that, but more than anything, and a lot of people, it's funny, they say, we want to send a lot of people to you. Well, the truth is we want to help a lot of people. So we really appreciate you participating in that because oftentimes without you, your coworkers are never going to get the help because they don't know about us yet. They haven't come across us like you have. And so, we appreciate just the opportunity to help a lot of people. So thank you.
Okay, so there's a lot of you been texting me and messaging me on everything, asking about us to give you a sample narrative report. And we're going to have Chris explain why we can't do that.
So here's the deal with the sample narrative report. I could tell you this, and everybody that cares about sample narrative reports, get a pen and paper and write this down. I can tell you that a narrative report has to include the following 5 things. And if it's more or less, whatever, but I think it's 5. You need to be able to explain your job description. What do you do all day? And not just, I deliver the mail, but what does that take? I walk 10 miles and lift up to 70 pounds and have to climb up and down the stairs and so on and so forth. You have to put your physical demands. Then you have to be able to describe in great detail how the injury happened. I stepped out of my LLV into a hole and twisted my knee, and I fell to the ground and felt pain and so on and so forth. And then you've got to explain how your job was a direct link to that injury. That was tricky, but it's got to be done. And then there's a medical narrative portion, which is like blood pressure and other medical stuff. I'm not a doctor, but some other medical stuff. And then to finish it up, you've got to be able to summarize it and in causation, explain the link between the job and the injury, and then include a valid, specific diagnosis. So it's not easy. If it was easy, all the doctors would be doing it and all the claims would be accepted. But as you know from listening to me, only 1 out of 19 federal employees has an accepted claim. So it's not easy. But those are the basics of what it takes to get a claim accepted. But it's hard to give you an example of a narrative because every injury is different. Like I like using postal employees. Sorry, letter carriers, but you guys get hurt more often than everybody else. But I like using this example, and I hate that it actually happens. But the dog bite. Look, it's not just like a cartoon in a newspaper. And dog bite's a real thing. But every dog bite I've ever heard of had different details, and so there's no standard dog bite narrative because they're all different. What if you had to jump over a fence or swerve left and right? Or what if it was a pit bull versus a chihuahua? And if you're running from a chihuahua, we got other issues that I probably can't put into a narrative.
Yeah. So I'm
happy to read your narratives. If anybody would like to send them, I'll let you know what's wrong with it.
So here's it's not a question, but a really sweet message. It's from Shannon. I know I've been messaging Shannon back and forth because she was very lost in this whole OWCP world. She says, I'm on my way home now from their Clearwater office in Clearwater, Florida. These people are awesome, and I believe because of them, I'm headed in the right direction after almost 3 months. They're the only ones that's been willing to help me all this time, and today is the only day I've gotten relief. So thankful for everyone more than they know. You're so welcome, Shannon. I knew you were in the office because I got a message that you were there, so that's good.
And thanks for saying that. And the number one thing for us is just helping as many people as we can. So Shannon, we're glad we can help you. And I mean, really, like, from the bottom of my heart, glad we can help. Hey, Gini, before you ask the next question, let me just say this. What's up, Natasha?
Tasha's on there?
Yeah.
How come I didn't see her? Oh, hey. She didn't say hi to us. She said hi to Kim.
Hi, Kim, too. But I want to give a special message to Natasha.
Oh, no, she did say hi. Hold on.
300 people is a good start, Natasha. Let's double it. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, what else we got?
Okay, so we have Tracy says, how can I get copies of my CA1? I asked my postmaster, my work comp lady, and my claims examiner.
I'm so glad you asked, Tracy. Let me tell you the answer to this. This is for everybody. So what you're going to do is get your phone. Everybody just take your phone. You have it in front of you right now. Once you get your phone, I want you to go to the Google Play Store or to the App Store. And when you get there, I want you to get the Twitter app. No, yes, don't look at the Twitter. Twitter. Get the Twitter app. I'm going to tell you in advance that I agree with you. Twitter's dumb. Don't follow anybody else. Don't leave it alone otherwise. Set it for notifications and then walk away from it. But you need the Twitter app, and you need to follow me at the @ Fed Injury Center. @Fed Injury Center. @Fed Injury Center. Follow me there. Here's why. Because there's a law for that. And the law says that you have to get copies of your CA1 and CA2. And that the supervisor shall give you the front and back of the CA1 or 2, along with the receipt of notice or notice of receipt. So if you had that law, would it help you get your CA1 from your supervisor? I think so. Because a supervisor that says, I'm not going to give it to you, I don't want to give it to you, I don't know how to give it to you. If you show them the law from the Code of Federal Regulations that says they have to, wouldn't that be helpful? So how do you get that law? I'm glad you asked. Go to Twitter and follow me at Fed Injury Center. I'm posting stuff like that on there. There's like quick hits. And you can take it to your supervisor and say, hey, but what about this law? And I promise you, most people don't want to break the law. And so just show them, then you can get it. But with that said, the law says you can have copies of everything. So don't take no for an answer.
All right, let's see.
Right.
Good evening. Good evening. Nancy, yes. Oh, Kim, you said I have all that info, spent the whole day in the library doing forms. Hey, Kim, if you need our help, you have my cell phone number. Call me, and Chris and I will get on the phone with you. So
if you spent a whole day looking at this stuff, I could have saved you a whole day.
Yeah, I told you that at the Spring Booster to give us a call when you're ready to fill this out. So we walk you through the right way. So you call us tomorrow or whenever. We'll help you.
Don't spend a whole day doing this stuff. I did that already. I'll just give you the shortcuts.
Hey, Andrew. Hey, Melissa. Oh, Natasha said, hey, guys. Heather, how can I get the medication that the OWCP doctor put me on covered by my OWCP claim?
So if your claim is accepted already, it just should be. If it's not, you need to get your claim accepted. If you're having a hard time getting medications approved, you need to take the medications that you want, that your doctor's trying to prescribe to you, and call your claims examiner and find out what the heck's going on and ask them to approve it.
Yeah, just I know if you save the receipt, like if you purchased it out of your own pocket, you save the receipt. Once you get your claim number, you take it over. I personally would go to like Walgreens or CVS because they take OWCP. I personally ask because I go there and I ask because I'm like, hey, well, how do you guys do this? And they said they have to have the claim number because that's their billing. Just like when you guys have a member number and a group number on Blue Cross Blue Shield or Aetna. So they need that approved claim number.
So you got to give them your 9-digit claim number. So you got to have that first. But I wouldn't go to a pharmacy that doesn't take your OWCP claim number.
Right.
You have a choice of pharmacy just like you have a choice of doctor. And so my advice to you is don't pay money out of your pocket.
Yeah, don't. Unless you have to, but make sure you go and get that reimbursed back to you.
100%.
Reka, thank you so much. Reka is a good friend of mine. She supports by watching. Sue,
hey, excuse me. So Regina Meadows says she shared her 3.
I saw that.
Share your 3. Thank you, Regina. Look, it's not for me. It's for your coworkers. Please share this. Don't take no for an answer. Have somebody get on and listen. This is helpful information. If someone gets hurt, they have no idea what to do. And we're helping. We're helping for free. Take advantage of this, please. Thank you, Regina.
Sue, I know you keep saying that you've been trying to get in touch with Chris. You have to let me know when you can actually talk. Chris is going to be in Dallas tomorrow's Thursday and Friday. Saturday, he's traveling, coming to Florida. So you have 2 days to get in touch with him. So message me your number or message Chris your number, and we'll make sure we call you tomorrow or Friday. You got to tell us a good time to call because we're in the middle of doing stuff for this NALC golf tournament. So I'll be in and out. But message us for sure. And we're sorry we haven't been able to get in touch with you.
Yeah, let me tell you this too.
Sorry,
let me say this. It's very important. I keep mentioning there's 2.8 million federal employees. I'm one guy. So I'm really trying my best. I want to help as much as I can. If you don't get a hold of me, get a hold of Gini. Sorry, Gini. I know you get more calls than I do. But the other thing that I do that a lot of you don't know is I'm also helping manage doctors' offices, and I'm consulting with doctors so they do a good job when you call them and need help. And so I find myself to be pretty busy from time to time, but I want to help. I really want to help. I'm passionate about helping. And so don't give up. If I don't answer, just keep calling. If I don't respond to a text, keep texting. Send me funny emojis, whatever it takes. And then get a hold of Gini too, whatever it takes. And lots of times she can get me on the phone. She knows where I'm at, what I'm doing. So if I haven't helped you yet, I apologize. I want to. So keep trying, please. I really want to help. And that's why we hired these case managers too, because I'm one guy and there's 2.8 million of you. And so I'm trying to get some people that really know their stuff. I won't hire people that don't know things, and I hired experts. So we're really trying to help. We're passionately interested in helping you.
Yeah, PM Boss said, I appreciate y'all knowledge so much. It has helped me a lot. And he said Chris spent over an hour with him on the phone. And I remember that too. So you're so welcome. We'll do whatever we can and answer your questions, over the phone. And I've been on the phone for like an hour and 45 minutes with certain people. Look, we understand that you guys have no one to talk to this about, and it's so stressful for you guys. So now with the 2 case managers on team, they're very compassionate, just as we are, and they know just as much as we do. So when I tell you, okay, the case manager, Jennifer, or what was that? Oh, great, stop. They will call you and they will answer your questions. So now we have more people on the team to help you. Kristen said, Dr. Cameraman, Dr. Rashmwala, and all the guys in Clearwater are so great and so helpful. Yes, they are.
Let me respond to that. So listen, we're in the Clearwater area. That's Clearwater, Tampa, St. Pete, and the surrounding areas. If you're in Florida and you're not getting a claim accepted, chances are you're in the wrong part of Florida. It's worth the drive. The pain of the drive, no matter if it's 2 hours or 6 hours, is better than the pain of a denied claim. And we never charge anybody out of your own pocket, so it never costs you any money ever. Nobody ever pays a penny. And so get your claims accepted. We're here, and Dr. Cameraman and Rashamwala are, they're like consummate professionals. And Dr. Cameraman is the first doctor I ever trained. So he's been doing OWCP as an MD longer than any doctor that I know. So if you're in Florida and want a claim accepted, there's one place I would go. That was a shameless plug, but it's the way it is. Like, you want your claim accepted, stop going the other places.
So Heather says, on exact diagnosis, what if it's being held up by an MRI? I was originally diagnosed with a grade 3 sprain with soft tissue injury. Had an x-ray on the initial visit. The OWCP doctor said, I did break a bone by my toes and there is a tendon and ligament damage, but they don't know which one due to not being able to get an MRI. Had an approval, but wasn't able to get it during the time frame. So waiting on a new approval.
That's a bummer. You know, in the areas that we work in, the MRI places work with us and understand this because we teach them. And so they'll do the MRI and not charge you out of your own pocket, which means you get your MRI. And then when your claim's accepted or your diagnosis is approved, they get paid. That's what they like about it. They know if they do the MRI, our doctor can use that to write a narrative. The claim gets accepted. Everyone gets paid, but most importantly, you get your claim accepted. You get your diagnosis approved. And so you want to talk to your doctor and say, Doc, surely you've got a friend with an MRI or who has an MRI place. Talk to them about helping us. Tell them that you need them to do our images so that you can get our claims accepted. Then everybody benefits, but most importantly, you benefit. And a lot of people don't connect the dots in that, but that's standard procedure for us. In Clearwater, we have 2 offices that do that, 2 MRI places that just get it. They're like, oh, so all we got to do is push the button and take the MRI. You'll take the info and write a great narrative. Yeah, it's exactly right. We're all on the same side of the table on this deal.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of you hopping on right now. Tonight we're doing Q&A, and we said this at the beginning. Stay till the very end. We have some exciting news, and we're going to start telling you guys weekly where we're going to be for the months, you know, what states and what we have planned coming up. And
share. We should tell them throughout. Those of you just jumping on, share this with somebody. Tell somebody to jump on. This is not a sales presentation. This is a educational presentation. You need this information. If you think you have it already, you don't, I promise you. And if you think somebody already taught it, they did it wrong. So you need to be listening to us and put people on this and have them, you know, make sure that your coworkers, your friends are gaining from this knowledge.
Yeah. Diane says, I met the 4 requirements, but not the 5th, and casual relationship. My doctor said she filled out all the forms and gave a short narrative. She said there is nothing more she can do. Now what do I do?
Have your doctor write a referral to another doctor who's not a coward and who will write the right report. The causal relationship is the most critical part of a narrative report. And if your doctor wrote a short report, there's no such thing as a short report that gets a claim accepted. Our doctors write 5 or 6 page narrative reports, and causation, the causal relationship, is the most critical part of the report. So if your doctor won't do it, get a referral to somebody who will. That's the best I can tell you. Or go back and don't take no for an answer. And I'm a huge advocate of don't take no for an answer, ever. Yeah. I never do.
Lori says, on tail end of one of my claims for my knee and ankle surgery 2 years ago, still on limited duty, recently rolled other ankle and had to file a new CA1. Now I have 2 cases open. How should the wage reimbursement be done? Continue filling out a CA7A on the first case or COP on the second case?
So the problem is you can't be double paid. So you just have to pick a case and get paid on it. So whichever one is accepted, I'd get paid on that one for sure. But you can't be paid twice. And so if you're, now the exception, you can't be paid twice for the same day. So let's say you're at the doctor on Monday for the left ankle and on the doctor on Tuesday for the right ankle, then you can get paid for both. But generally speaking, if you're at the doctor for both conditions, both claims at the same time, you're only going to get paid once. So pick one. But pick the one that's approved. If one of them's not, get paid on the approved one.
Let's see.
Just real quick while you're reading that, Gini. Our website, federalinjurycenters.com. There's a red button called videos. And you can go on there. For anybody that doesn't know how to fill out a CA7 or 7A, Tom, our partner Tom, has made a very detailed video on how to fill that out. It goes through every box. It's only like 18 minutes, but it'll be a really good 18 minutes considering it'll get you paid for your whole week. So take the time that you need to watch that video and take notes. But we've gone out of our way to show you how to get paid using that form. We hope that helps.
Oh, Kim said 78 viewers. You guys are making so many people aware of their rights. So glad we hooked up. So When you guys are on this page on Wednesday night OWCP chats, you see that number. Once we sign off and we look back, like when we're live, because I'm sharing it and you guys are sharing it, we normally have over 2,000, 3,000 views. So this is why we keep telling you guys to share, because everybody that's on their Facebook gets to see this. So yeah, we're really excited, and we love helping you guys.
Jerry, but with 2,000 or 3,000 views, or even 20,000 views, there are 2.8 million federal employees. So can all of you just take a second and share? Just get everybody involved in this. The most, the biggest reason why only 1 out of 19 federal employees has an accepted claim is because they don't know this information. Just knowing the information would make the claims acceptance rate go way up, because people would know how to initiate a claim. So help your coworkers out and have them watch this video, please.
Jerry wants to know, how long does it normally take to get results from a second opinion doctor?
Unfortunately, they don't have a time frame. A second opinion doctor can take their time, but they can go fast. Their thing is to write a narrative report that hoses your case, because the claims examiner requested it. When DOO is requesting a second opinion doctor, they're trying to close the case, get you back to work. But you want to make sure that your doctor, your treating physician, sends a narrative to that doctor or a CA-20 to that doctor to let them know what's going on, so they have your side of the story, for lack of better words. Not that it's a story, but you get the point. But there's no time frame. They can take as much time as they need, to be honest with you. But what I would do is, no matter what happens, keep following your treating doctor's orders, period.
Yeah. Robert says, if you're on work comp, can you use sick leave the day before or the day after the holiday in order to get holiday pay, or is that authorized?
Well, that has nothing to do with, so in workers' comp, you can only be paid for workers' comp on time that you're away from work because of your injury. If the day before a holiday is not because of your injury, then you can use the sick time. But you're not going to be able to get it back. The day after a holiday, you can use vacation time, but you can't have it back. The only way you can have it back is if you're going to the doctor before you're off of work because of your injury. But at that point, and your claim's accepted, you're probably taking LWOP anyways, and preserving your sick and annual time for when you're sick or you want to go to vacation. And in which case, at that point, you would get repaid for your LWOP.
So I'm locked up in here doing this live, and my doggy is definitely scratching the door to try to come in to be on live. Gizmo. Okay, so Robert also.
We can't hear him, but you bring him in.
I will in a minute. Robert asks, can MMI be written by the treating doctor or the doctor who did the orthopedic, or the orthopedic surgeon that did the operation?
The MMI can be written up by any qualified physician, which is an MD or a DO, but for our purposes, let's just call it an MD. So yeah, Robert, either of those doctors can do it. If you request it, it's no problem. They can do it.
Oh boy.
He's really not that heavy.
No, I'm just not feeling well.
Oh, Gizmo, he doesn't look like a Ewok anymore.
Look at all these people on there. You see that? Do you see everyone? Okay. So Lisa Schultz said, what about FMLA? Is that automatically filed, or are you responsible for filing it?
So you've got to go do that yourself. You got to get the FMLA paperwork off the internet and take it to your doctor and have them fill it out. But if you have an accepted claim and you need to be off of work, your CA-17 covers you. Your duty status report is the CA-17. And if you've got a accepted claim and you have a duty status report on file, you don't have to use your FMLA, which is great, because FMLA is not infinite. You have 120, some agencies have 240 days, but it's not the whole year. So preserve it when you can, and with an accepted claim, use your CA-17 for time off. Whoever's got questions about the CA-17, this is a good time to bring them in. I'll answer them.
Robert says, if you have an approved case, do you need to file FMLA?
No. If you have an approved case and you have to be off of work because of your injury, you file a CA-17.
All right. And Kim says, as a rural carrier on evaluated routes, how do we go to the doctor's appointments? I was going on my day off since I wasn't approved yet. Now that I'm approved, how do I schedule appointments and document time? My manager says I can't go on my work day. Will OWCP pay me for my time off if it's my day off?
So your manager is wrong, or your manager is lying to you. Let's go with wrong. Let's don't call your manager a liar. Let's just say your manager is not clear on the rules. You are allowed to spend up to 4 hours of your workday at the doctor's office, up to 4 hours of your workday at physical therapy. So you can spend up to 4 hours of your workday getting better. And so what you need to do is give your supervisor ample notice. The way we do it is when you go to the doctor the first time, the doctor schedules all of your appointments, gives you a printout of all your appointments and says, take it to your supervisor. That way they can't say they didn't have notice. Give them notice. Be sure you give a copy of that to your union. Let them know you're doing it. You're going to need time off. And if your supervisor prevents you from doing it, prevents you from getting better, file a grievance. What if your doctor is only open 9 to 5 Monday through Thursday? I can tell you many of them are. Well, if you work 9 to 5, you're never going to the doctor. And so the law allows for you to get better. That means the supervisor can't prevent you from going to the doctor. So you would clock out, you would take a CA7A and a 7, CA7 and a 7A, and you would fill out LWOP, leave without pay, and account for your time.
Gizmo's getting so many comments more than OWCP comments. I swear to God.
Just because of the dog. Hey, while the dog's here, share. We might say something else useful. He's not going to say anything useful, I guarantee it. He's not going to use words at all. He won't even bark.
He says "daddy" on the computer. He knows the voice. Thank you for all the cute comments about Gizmo. He's our baby. Danielle wants to know. Huh?
Moving on.
Danielle wants to know, is it correct that for every 40 hours of LWOP for your injury, that the post office can take your leave?
No. No. On an accepted claim, LWOP is your time. The end. That's the end. End. Your leave, your sick and annual leave is yours. Your LWOP is your time away from work due to an injury that you didn't ask for. So no, believe me, no, they can't take it.
Tom says, any suggestions on the best days and times to contact your claims examiner?
Monday through Sunday, any AM to any PM. Leave a message if we don't answer.
Okay. Lisa, you said, how does that work with the CA17? How does what work with the CA17? Do you remember, Chris?
Yeah, hey, let me just explain the CA17. At the bottom right corner of the form, it says CA17. That's how you know you have a 17. The form is called a duty status report. You get that from your supervisor, and your supervisor fills out side A because side A says supervisor. I always ask what comes first, A or B? Right, A. So the supervisor fills out A, the physician fills out B. Physician has a hard time filling out side B without A being filled out. So you get it from your supervisor, you take it to your doctor. Your doctor fills out their part. They fax it to Department of Labor, to your claims examiner. They fax it to your supervisor, and they give you 2 copies, one for you to hand to your supervisor and one for you to keep for yourself. This form allows the doctor to restrict your duties, to take you off of work, to remove restrictions, and to send you back to work. So you get that from your supervisor. If your supervisor refuses to give it to you, you go to federalinjurycenters.com. You click on the red forms tab and you print one yourself, take it to your doctor, and ask your doctor in side A to write with a Sharpie, supervisor refused to fill it out. See how many more times that happens.
Okay. Marcos says, I do know we are responsible to file FMLA, but what did you mean preserve it? I have an approved case. Yeah, so Marcos, the cool thing is with an approved case, your doctor can take you off of work and protect your job using a Form CA17 duty status report. If you're taken off of work medically by your doctor, you don't need to use FMLA because they have to follow doctor's orders, they meaning the agency, the supervisor. So FMLA is important. You know, it protects your job as well.
But OWCP has built in a form into the process that protects your job, and that's a CA-17. If your claim is accepted, your CA-17 takes you off of work and protects your job. I hope that helps, Marcos.
Thanks for this chat. Vivi, I hope I'm saying your name right. She says, filed a claim, was denied, so because I couldn't return to work, so they fired me. They just approved my case after it was appealed. So what do I do?
Okay. Vivi, I hope you are a union member. If you're not, go sign up today, tomorrow, like first thing, before you do anything else, go sign up, pay your dues. And if they require you to pay your dues since January, pay them all. If they say pay your dues for the last 10 years, consider paying all those as well. Your union's going to get your job back, and all the days that you've been off, they're going to get your time back. You're going to get your job back, and you're going to get paid. But you need a union to help you. So hopefully you're already there. And if you're a union member, go to your president and tell them, I was fired because of a work injury. My claim's accepted. Okay, the people that we know that have been fired because of a work injury and then their claim is accepted, they got their job back and they got paid for all their lost time. So what do you do next? Go to the union, tell them what happened. And congratulations for getting your claim accepted. You should get your job back. Yeah, a lot of like and love buttons there. Me too. In fact, let me give you some.
You're such a ding dong. I see it. Lisa says, I'm working in a limited restricted duty, 32 hours a week. They make me use sick or annual if I need a day off for my issue, and I make my appointments on my days off.
Is your claim accepted? If it is, you should not be using your sick and annual leave. You should be using a CA-7 and using LWOP. You can do a thing called leave buyback. It's a CA-7B. All forms that I tell you about are on our website, federalinjurycenters.com. So don't worry about how you find them. Just go to our website and print them. But you can do leave buyback to get your time back.
Yeah. And Kim Davis says, so do they have to get someone to cover your route while you're at the doctor?
Oh, yeah. This is my favorite part. That's their problem. What's next?
Kim, did you hear that? So that's on the post office to find somebody.
That's the problem. Look, you didn't ask to get hurt. You didn't wake up and say, I hope I get hurt today. This will be awesome. Look, you're injured. When you have to be away from work, it's management's job to cover your shift, not your job. It's your job to get better so future shifts don't have to be covered. The faster you get better, the sooner they have to stop covering your shifts. Let management worry about that.
Yeah, Jerry, what question didn't Chris understand? Which question? Because I know there's two of you going back and forth that he said the wrong answer. So if you can please post it again. Christopher Helms. Okay, Kristen says, do I need to fill out FMLA papers while my case is pending acceptance?
Now, then I would. You don't have an accepted claim and you would like to protect your job, and an FMLA will protect your job.
I've taken sick days for all my appointments for an accepted claim. Can I get those back? I'm a roll carrier.
Yes, it's fill out a CA-7, potentially a 7A, but definitely a 7B. All of those forms are on my website, federalinjurycenters.com.
Okay, let's see. Donna says, if you're out on LWOP and DOL is paying you, you are not there to earn your AL and SL. I don't know what AL and SL is.
Annual and sick leave. Okay. So you're not accruing time because you're not working, but at that point the priority is getting better and not on disability.
Nancy says, Chris, USPS does take AL for every 80 hours of LWOP we are given. AL at the beginning of the year.
So I'm going to be sitting with Al on Sunday talking about this stuff, so I'll ask him what Yeah, look, what happens within your agency is not, look, I'm an OWCP expert. I am not a USPS expert or an AFGE or an NALC. I'd like to be, but what the agency does to you outside of OWCP, while it pisses me off to no end, there's some things that, you got to get with your union and fight. And so thankfully, I'm going to be with Al, who's, as far as I'm concerned, at the top of the union food chain, and I've got some questions to ask him. I'm going to ask him about that this weekend.
Did you say fruit train?
Food chain.
Food. Well, you didn't say food before. I thought, what fruit train is Al on?
No, he's not on a fruit train. We don't do that.
Donna says, if you are approved, you don't need FMLA. Save that in case you need it for a sickness. Correct.
That's exactly right, because your CA-17 protects you.
Okay. So Jerry says, we lose a day of annual for every 10 days of LWOP. This annual is advanced to us at the beginning of the year before we earn it.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, see, we don't know these particular questions, but we're going to find out now that you guys are asking.
Yeah,
what?
You can find that anywhere on the DOL website, the CA-810, the manual for injured employees, and you can't find it in the OWCP guidelines. It's not in the Code of Federal Regulations. This is agency stuff. So, but you know what? I've learned other agency stuff to help, and this will be one of the next things I learn. I'm happy to help with it. It's just unfortunately not OWCP. So, for any of you out there that think that you've just stumped Chris, you haven't.
Holly says, do you need a new CA-17 every time you go to the doctor or an OWCP 5C form?
All right, so the OWCP 5C is like a status update for management. You don't need that unless they ask for it. The CA-17 is a medical documentation, and so it needs to be updated when it needs to be updated medically. It does not need to be done every time you see the doctor, but a lot of supervisors ask for that. But it's just such a waste of the doctor's time, and it's a waste of their time. It's a waste of your time because you've got to wait for it to get filled out. And if nothing changed on the CA-17, there's no reason to fill out a new one. Doctors know that a CA-17 is a form of medical necessity. It's filled out when it's medically necessary to do so. But if your supervisor asks for it, your doctor should just do it because, don't make waves.
Okay.
But if you're expecting your supervisor to be educated on this process, you have very high expectations.
So Kendra's asking, she said that she's been calling her caseworker for the last 2 weeks, twice a day, and the caseworker hasn't returned any of her calls. Is there another number I can call and talk to someone or her supervisor or get some answer? My claim is approved, but I've not received a payment in 2 months.
Okay. So there's a lot going on there. So a caseworker is like a nurse case manager. A claims examiner is a claims examiner. The claims examiner pays your time off. The case manager assists with getting you better and back to work. If your case manager is not responding to you, write a letter to your claims examiner requesting that they remove your case manager from your case, give you a new one, or no new one at all. A case manager that doesn't respond doesn't belong in your case. So you can remove them without a penalty to you. So just request that they be removed and say why. If you're not getting paid, you're probably not attaching the correct documentation to your CA-7. But if you're not getting paid, you should be getting a letter in the mail from the claims examiner explaining why your payment has been denied. So look for denial letters from DOL. If you haven't seen those, call your claim examiner every day, twice a day, whatever it takes, and find out why. Be a squeaky wheel. But they're supposed to send you something in writing if they don't pay you to explain to you why so you can fix it.
Okay. Donna's saying, I never do my appointments on my day off. I'm there for several hours. I'm not wasting my day off sitting at the doctor's office. Absolutely. Don't waste your time. Go, once your case is approved, go during your work hours. You have 4 hours. Do that.
And Kendra said it's her claims examiner. So Kendra, if you don't get a hold of the claims examiner, call in and ask for a supervisor. If you don't get the supervisor, ask for the district manager. And keep calling as often as you can. Get somebody on the phone. Your complaint is not uncommon. I hear it all the time. Again, 2.8 million federal employees. I'll bet you there's not. The fractional number of claims examiners is probably ridiculous. There's probably not nearly enough of them.
Yeah. So Robert says, as employees that return to work with a lower grade position has gotten worse regarding medical conditions and needs other surgeries, does a CA-17 reapply for the post-op surgery or change in medical status?
A CA-17 applies anytime the doctor says so. If the doctor needs to restrict your duties or take you off of work, they use a CA-17, regardless of the reason. That's their only remedy for helping you at work. So it doesn't matter what the reason is. If the doctor thinks it's medically necessary to fill one out, they should do so. And your supervisor has to accept it.
Heather is saying, I have to take a CA-17 every time I go to the doctor per my supervisor and postmaster.
Well, your supervisor and postmaster need to read something about OWCP because they don't understand. I don't want to say they're harassing you, but I'm familiar with what doctors have to go through. They don't like filling those out every time when nothing changed. So ask your doctor if, hey, if nothing changed, doc, would it be this is a question. Ask your doctor this question. Hey, doc, would it be appropriate for you to copy the last CA-17 and just put a new date on it? If nothing changed, what's the point? Like, nothing changed. So the doctor, if it's a hassle for them, can just copy the old one and put a new date if they intend for nothing to change. It doesn't, what's the difference between copying it and making a new one with all that stuff on the new one? If they change the date, it's fine.
Yeah, Debbie says, Debbie says, once you have a permanent restriction and received a schedule award, how often do you have to see a doctor to update the permanent restrictions? I was told once permanent that it is unless you need to see a doctor.
There's no rules on that. Nothing I'm aware of that you have to go to any interval. You should go when they ask you to. Maybe your doctor will want you to come in at some interval.
Teresa says, I thought a CA-17 has to be filled out every 30 days. If nothing has changed, do I have to? This involves me driving to Indianapolis from Michigan if I have to.
Your doctor can fill one out and fax it in with or without you there. Just so you know. It's the doctor's discretion. If they think nothing has changed, nothing's changed. So you need to talk to your doctor and find out how they want to handle it.
Regina, I know you asked a question and you want us to help. Can you do me a favor and send that question to my messenger, like on our Wednesday night OWCP Chats message, and we're going to answer that personally for you. Let's see. Kendra says, I have not received anything about reasons why I have not got paid. She approves all my medical.
So if you're not getting paid, Kendra, it's because, these are the possibilities that are out there. A, you're not filling out your CA-7 correctly. B, your supervisor isn't sending your CA-7 into DOL. I would want to know if that was happening. If they don't send it in 5 days or ever, you're not going to get paid. C, there's documentation that needs to be attached to it. For example, documentation that you're at the doctor's office, to show that you were there. A CA-17 if the doctor took you off of work. A CA-20 because for whatever reason they require this ridiculous form, a CA-20. And so find out what's missing. But if you're not sending in documentation with your CA-7, they'll never pay you. And that might be why. You know what you've sent in. So you can think to yourself, did I send anything in? If not, that's for sure the reason. So get your documentation and resend it.
Karen says, I just found out my manager didn't fax my CA-2 in that I submitted on March 22nd and have since been put out pending termination for attendance. What should I do? Since I'm out, I have no access to anything.
Okay, so you're going to do the following 3 things.
Listen up, Karen.
1, file a grievance, like tomorrow, first thing in the morning, file a grievance. 2, get with your union and file an EEO complaint. They want to fire you because they didn't do their job. Okay, you might have an EEO. 3, I want you to contact OSHA. On OSHA's website, they have 10 things that are the employee's rights. Number 6 is you have a right to report your injuries. So I want you to call OSHA, 1-800-321-OSHA, and I want you to ask the following question. You're not making an accusation. You're not even at this point filing a complaint. You're asking 1-800-321-OSHA. Here's the question. Is it a violation that my supervisor did not turn in my work injury documentation? Is it? Because number 6 says I have a right to report an injury. My supervisor didn't turn it in. And now they want to fire me? No. So do those 3 things, please. Do those 3 things. And after your grievance is done, you might want to consider you and your union getting together and filing a labor violation. because don't get pushed around anymore.
Kendra, we have some videos. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. What I'll do is I'll tag you on it, where we went over a bunch of laws, specifically when you're trying to file your CA1 and your CA2. So I'll go ahead and tag that with the rules. Make sure you pay attention to the rules. I listed them and Chris repeated them, so write them down and make sure. And I just put the number, everyone, down there if you're considering calling OSHA on anything, which you should. And like Chris always says, just ask them a question. And if it's a valid question, then you do your complaint with them. So the phone number again, I posted below, 1-800-321-OSHA.
And again, we're not calling, making accusations. You don't have to be worried. You can't get in trouble for calling OSHA. They have whistleblower protection. Nothing bad can happen to you. But if enough people call and ask, is this a violation? These things are going to stop. Your supervisor is by law, with the Code of Federal Regulations, they are by law required to turn your CA2 into DOL within 10 days of it being completed. 10 days. Anyways, file some complaints and violations. Ask, is this a violation?
Octavia, you said your manager lied to you about your OWCP case was closed. Unless they put the post office address in your information when you filled out your CA1 or CA2, that letter has to come to you, not the post office.
And if it's closed or denied?
Yeah, I've asked a specific question to a state president. It has to come to you, not the postmaster doesn't know, the supervisors don't know, unless they're calling, giving your information and saying that they're you, and that's wrong.
Yeah, all indications of your case status are mailed to you by the claims examiner. It'll come to you. If you haven't gotten it in the mail, it didn't happen.
Okay, we're going to answer just a couple more questions, and we're going to end our stuff with some things that we wanted to tell you. Cheryl says, what is a case manager and how do I find out who that is? My claims examiner never called me back.
So a case manager from Department of Labor is added to your claim, added to your case, based on, maybe they think you've been out of work for too long. Some of them have bad intentions, some of them have good intentions, some of them are not educated on their job, so you have to know who you're dealing with. If you're dealing with someone that's not working in your best interest, you can write to have them removed. But a nurse case manager is there to just be a bridge between you, your doctor, and the claims examiner, just to help you get back to work. And getting back to work is that should be your priority. Nobody wants to end up on disability. And so when your claims examiner is doing the right job case manager is doing the right job helping you get back to work, and putting your interest as number one, keep that person, because that one's gold. But that's the job of the case manager.
Okay, Kim says, Kim, I'm going to combine your question with Lisa. Kim wants to know, how is a schedule award paid? Is it a lump sum or, in increments? And then Lisa wants to know, when and why should you request a schedule award?
All right, so a schedule award is done when your doctor, your treating physician, says that you're a maximum medical improvement, which is MMI. And then you have a diagnosis that warrants a schedule award. Not all of them do. At that point, when you're at MMI, maximum medical improvement, your doctor will do an impairment rating based on the 6th addition to permanent impairment, not the 5th. And then you'll attach that impairment rating report to your CA7. You'll select letter D for schedule award and turn that in. How do you know? It's because your doctor put you there. You don't know until your doctor says, hey, this is as good as you're ever going to get. And so now you're eligible. What was the first part of that question, Jeannie? Did I cover that?
Hold on, let me see. Kim says, how is a schedule award paid?
Yeah, so generally weekly. Monthly. But it's based on weeks of pay. But they typically pay it monthly.
Okay, I'm going to answer like 2 more questions, and then those of you that want us to answer anything else, please continue commenting even when we're done with the video, because Chris and I will go over the questions afterwards and answer anything else. Wendy's, I really want to get to your question. They said, they gave me a job offer but was against my restrictions, so I turned it down. Now the USPS wants OWCP to cut me off when it was clearly against restrictions. Can they cut me off of my pay?
All right, so you need to take that immediately to your union president and have them help you. Just so you know, Sunday when I'm sitting with Al, the number one thing I'm going to be talking about is modified job offers, limited duty offers, and how that works, because it's outside of OWCP. It's right inside of the union, right inside the agency. But I get so many questions about it that I want to be able to answer it expertly. And so next week, plan on me having a really good message to you about limited job offers and those things, because I understand it's a huge thing, and we got to figure out how to handle that using your union to push back on management that might have bad intentions.
Yeah. I know you guys have a lot more questions coming in. Again, go ahead and continue putting your questions down. We are definitely going to answer, because there will the remainder of the questions tonight. If it's anything personal, just you can message us right on the Wednesday night chats. But I want to tell Marcos Valdez. He says, "Love the valuable legal content. How can we promote our endeavors to help us in our offices?" You know, if you need, let us know where you're at. Chris, when we go out doing these boosters and these state conventions and these union meetings, we come in there and we educate, but we educate very heavily to the stewards, so you guys could help and advocate for other employees and be your own little OWCP advocate. 2 weeks ago we were
big and powerful.
2 weeks ago we were in Alabama, and we had a classroom about 30 stewards and some local presidents, and we did a 3-day training on everything. I mean, it didn't need to take 3 days, but we split it up, and when we left, everyone in that room was a mini OWCP expert. And I'll tell you, they have all followed Chris's rules until today. Chris got pictures about, they posted the CA10, how to get connected with us. So we will come out and help, but we have to be invited by your presidents. I see a lot of questions coming in. Again, we're going to answer the remainder of the questions, so you can keep having your questions come in.
Yeah, keep going.
Octavia says you guys should come to Austin.
Well, that's about 3 hours from where I'm at right now, and I'd be happy to do it, Octavia, but we need to be invited by your union. Without union presidents, I don't have an audience, and I like to speak to big audiences. So if you can get your union president to contact Gini at the phone number that you see coming across the bottom of the screen, we'd be more than happy to schedule that in. But fortunately, Gini's going to talk about what we've got coming up, and so it's going to be hard to put other meetings and conventions in, but we're definitely open to it. We love doing it.
Yeah, so everybody, I know you guys are asking us a lot to put clinics and get doctors in your area, because you guys trust us and our doctors. And trust me, it's not an easy situation. I mean, there's so much behind what we have to do. It looks like it's easy because once it gets going and the doctor's in place and the therapy's in place, it's easy, yes. But it takes months to get the staff from the doctor down to the front desk receptionist trained. And it's not, a one-day training. Chris is training like from a month ahead before we even step into the office. So we are working on getting other locations. I know Chris mentioned it last week. Huntsville, Alabama? We are definitely getting that done by October. So Huntsville, Alabama, we are coming. We have so many requests from Department of Defense, VA, and rural carriers. So we are definitely coming this year. Marcos, I have something to tell you in a minute. I'll answer that. But we are working on it. And
on Huntsville, so a couple of weeks ago when I was in the office with Dr. Donovan Harper in Birmingham, he and I had this conversation. I said, look, shake my hand. And we did that. And I said, look, right now, let's agree. We're going to open up in Huntsville. And he said, absolutely. So that's happening. We're definitely doing it. There's a lot of help needed out there with the bases, like 11,000 federal employees on the base, not to mention all the rural carriers and the other, AFGE and the other postal employees. So we're definitely coming there, like as soon as humanly possible.
I see Cleveland, Tennessee, South Carolina. Listen, we know almost every major city needs a doctor, needs our help, and we are trying so hard to do the right thing. Again, it's not easy for us to just throw in a doctor. It takes months to get all this in. So please understand that, and we are working on it.
So Marcos mentioned Chicago, so you'll talk about that in a second. Cynthia asked for Houston. Cynthia, I trained a doctor named Dr. An. She's spectacular. She writes some of the best narratives. She's in Houston. So let us know if you need help there, and we'll let you know how to contact her.
I will go ahead at the end as well. I'll post where we have all of our clinics for federal injury centers and all the clinics that Chris has trained. There is a doctor that he trained. We were just there last week in Indianapolis, Dr. Terry Toll. We don't have anything in Michigan, but a lot of people from Michigan are driving into Indianapolis only because they know they're getting their cases accepted.
That driver is way better than a denied claim. Take it.
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. We're thinking about it. We're working on things slowly.
There's some people out there. Let me say this: there's somebody in Columbus that's trying to do this, and I don't know him personally. But listen, our deal is no more denied claims. So just be very careful. Be very careful.
And before I get into like the last two things, we just want to, I see all the thank yous. So you guys are so welcome. And the only way we can help you guys is if you guys continue to watch us every week, take notes. I know Chris emailed a bunch of you guys the packet that you guys asked for. Pay attention to that. And again, those of you that have seen the previous Wednesday night lives, and you look at it and you want that packet, give us your email, your personal stuff, give us a call, message us. We're definitely going to help you. I will list all of our locations, and I'm going to go ahead and list all the other doctors that are in some of these areas you guys are asking for. Marcos, Indiana, Illinois. So let me go with what we're doing this month. So those of you that were at the beginning on Sunday.
Wait, hold on. Before you do this, right now, share. Right now, just go on, share this, tell somebody to watch. There are going to be people in areas that need this information, and Gini's about to talk about the places we're going to be live. So please share this right now. We should start seeing the viewers multiply. This is really important. If you're here watching this now, which we appreciate it, but we love doing this live. I like being in a room with hundreds of people and being able to do it live with the interaction. So Gini's about to talk about the places we're going to be over the next couple of months live. So please just share this. Share. Go ahead.
Yeah. So here's my little book. This book is only for DOL stuff. So this was March, this was April, and this is May. So it's not like we're not busy. So Sunday we are going to be in Tarpon Springs, helping out and contributing our time and sponsoring and donations for the MDA golf tournament. This is our third year involving our team, and we plan to raise a lot of money. The first year we've been doing it for 3 years. The first year we did 10,000. Last year we did 8,000. This year, we'd like to go over 10,000 since we did.
So actually come out and play golf and come find us in the 8th or 9th hole or wherever. And,
come out and you can talk to us there as well. So we're going to have a few brewskis and some Jello shots made by me. For each Jello shot and drink, I have a little bucket. You're going to donate cash, and hopefully you get a little sloshed, and you put like 20s and 100s and dumping it in there.
Everything will be fine. Get an Uber though, just in case. No drinking and driving.
Yeah. So that's where we're going to be on Sunday. Dr. Cameraman, for those of you guys that are in our Clearwater office, Dr. Cameraman, Dr. Rajamwala, Andrew, Chris, and I, we're all going to be there. They're going to be.
It's going to be a lot of fun with Al. Yeah. We're going to have so much fun. This is one of the funnest groups to hang out with. We're going to have a blast.
Yeah.
In Florida now.
So for the month of May, we are going to be doing on May 16th 16th in the morning, we are doing the Tri-State Convention with the mail handlers. So that's May 16th, 9 to 11 a.m. Now get this. We get on a plane at 4 o'clock to be in Chicago to be with the APWU that night for dinner. And then Chris is speaking at the APWU meeting Friday the 17th. And I know a lot of you on here are not with the APWU, but I'm letting you guys know that's where we're going to be. And the 19th, if I make it on time back home, Fort Myers APWU has invited me to come out and do a mini education. So I might be attending that. And for the month of June, we're still being asked to attend stuff. So the month of June, I spoke to Sam Mays today. They're having their rural carrier convention on June 8th through the 11th. So he's trying to work it so we could be there to be at that convention and do the education. And June 20th through the 22nd, you guys know, for our Florida crew, we're going to be in Daytona, as we are.
Daytona is awesome.
Yeah, and you know, we love Natasha, so we never say no. We always say yes to her.
With a
yeah, so we'll be in Daytona for the state and our LCA convention.
I need a room overlooking the beach. That's one of the most beautiful places I've been to.
He did that last year.
And maybe I'll do some teaching while I'm there.
And June 27th through the 29th, we're going to be in Kentucky for the APWU meeting. We have more stuff on the calendar, but those are just the things that are like solid in black and white in our calendar that where we're going to be. And yeah, I know, Kim, Daytona, I know. It's really fun there. This one particular place is beautiful, and it's so much fun with the rural carriers there. We have so much fun with them.
I'm not hanging out with us because I'm only going to be teaching for a couple of hours. I'll teach as long as Natasha asks me to teach. But after that, that's right, Natasha. I'm going. That's right. You know where you're going to find me. Put me on a beach. I'm happy to go. I'm back.
Wait, I think he's coming back. There you go.
Keep going.
The live will resume in a moment. Okay.
We're good.
And practice up on your cornhole, Natasha says. We will.
That's right.
Okay. So our last big announcement, and I've been like trying to get Chris to do this. Why does it say the live will resume in a moment? Okay. We've been trying to get this done, and I've really, really wanted it because it's going to be so beneficial for you guys. We are coming out, and I know I mentioned to you guys in January sometime. We are coming out with a federal injuries app on Apple and on Android, and that should be ready to go maybe June, no later than June or so. So we're looking forward. So when we are at the union meetings, you guys could follow along on forums. Everything will be on there. Locations, tap a button. You'll be able to get me once you get into some sort of injury. We're also going to have where you can those people that you know that don't have social media and Facebook Live, they'll be able to see us live on the app, and we'll explain how all of that will work. And all the forms will be printable.
Hey, don't forget what Tom wants. So what we're going to put on there is we're going to make sure that there's a timer. It's the CA16 timer. Remember that, Gini?
Yes.
CA16 timer. When you request it, you click your timer button and it starts counting. They have 4 hours to give it to you. 4 hours and 1 minute. It's going to give you a message that says, "Would you like to file a grievance?"
Yes. So
file a grievance.
We're really excited. Yes, on the app. Thank you guys for being so supportive. Yeah. So the app is going to come out again. It's going to be on Android. It's going to be on iPhone. So we're really, really super excited. And as soon as it comes out, we will go live that day when we are ready to launch the app. So everybody gets the app. So again, we want to thank everybody once again for hopping on our weekly OWCP chats. Don't forget to share, like, follow, comment, and we'll answer the remaining of the questions.
And go to Twitter.
Tell everybody. Yeah, I know, Chris, you're cutting in and out. Tell everyone about us. Again, Chris says there's 2.8 million federal employees and we only have 1,400 following. We would like 14 million, not 14 million. 3 million following. I don't know where I got that from, but make sure everybody hops on weekly. We look forward to seeing those of you that are in the areas that we're going to be at soon, especially in the next couple weeks. The things that are upcoming. Don't forget, those of you that live in the Tampa Bay, Clearwater area, we're really looking forward to seeing you guys again at the MDA Golf Tournament on Sunday. Come and bring your checks and cash to donate to MDA for a really good cause. It's to send these kids that have muscular dystrophy on a little field trip, and it's for the kids. So think of it as an amazing cause. For these little guys to go on a little field trip and have some fun. So again, we will go ahead and answer the remaining of the questions at the end. And I will go ahead and post all of our locations and doctors that Chris has trained. And that's it. So the ones that I post of locations and doctors Chris has trained, that's all we have. We don't have any more. So we want to say thank you again, and everyone have a great night, and we will see you next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Bye.